Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods, people. That is where bears live, don't you know? And 7 out of 8 TikTok women, they would agree, I'd rather see a bear in the woods than a man in the woods. It's YouTube's #1 show by a bear. Your emotional support animal, people. Great to be here, back at it yet again with you good folks. Another great Barely Live show. Back at it, finally. I don't have to play a video game that's get the heck on my nerves, people. But we've got a great show for you people tonight. I know I said I was going to do it last week. We had way too much, and then the other day the power went out on Bear. So we are finally going to get around to reviewing a Art Thibert book. That'd be black and white too. So I hope plenty of time has passed since it came out. Hope not to do too many spoilers for you good people, but we will be going through the book. We'll be talking about it. So hopefully many of you have already read it, and we'll see if you agree with Bear's review or not. We'll see out here. Good to see Amy here. I wonder how P Money is. Probably crying in his Molson. Unfortunately, the nation of Canada is in mourning, people. They are in desperate mourning here. It happened again. Happened for the second time, people. Well, actually, the third time if you want to count Tampa Bay. But once again, Canada gets all the way to the Stanley Cup. Within reach. It was within their grasp. And then the old Florida Panthers just took it away. Took it away from them once again. Didn't even need to go to Game 7. They took it away in their own stadium. So congratulations to the Tampa Bay. The Florida Panthers. Congratulations to Tampa Bay too. I'm sure they're enjoying their summer off. But once again, Florida winning the Stanley Cup. And I will say, since we're in Florida, I will take that as a win. Even though I don't like the Florida Panthers, we'll take it. We'll take it as a win, regardless. Any day that the USA can come out over Canada is a good day, people. How's the weather in the cave? Well, in the cave, it's fine. Actually, honestly, Amy, I'm a little crowded, and I hope. Hold on, just 1 second. Test. It's not too bad. I've got a whole bunch of equipment in here to be able to do the review. So no, the weather's nice. It was hot today. It was hot, but no, we are not gonna have hopefully any power going out, people. I'm knocking on wood. Let me knock on my head too, just in case. Hopefully, I'd hate to get halfway into the black and white review and everything goes pear-shaped, but we will endeavor. Oh my gosh, says Amy. Well, I'm sorry and congratulations. That's right, P Money. We were talking about the unfortunate gloom that is hovering over the entire nation of Canada this eve, as they've once again lost their own cup. That would be the Stanley Cup. And a lowly team from the South wins it once again, even though it is Florida. It is a state rival. We'll still take it. It is Florida nonetheless, so we'll still take it, P-Money. We will. We'll still take it, people. Kids, those bears are just lifting each other. Yeah, listen, come on, man. There's nothing. Listen, they're trying to keep warm. Well, some cloudy days out there. Cloudy days. Well, let me get. I've got plenty of show here, people. Plenty of show. So let me get right on into it, people. Once again, go check out Titan Mouse of Might #3, Miasma from Gary Shipman, and also let's see here, Alkali 826,600. Holy whoa! Somebody needs to take a screenshot of that one. There you go, Mr. Mormon. $826,665. for him. So congratulations, sir. But we've got a update here from one Shane Davis, people. That would be the 9 Lives Comics. He says, hello there, 9 Lives Comics fans. Well, hello. Atomic has blown past 70,000, and we've announced stretch goals for the campaign, 2 of which have unlocked already. Thank you for being such awesome supporters of the book. This weekend is the fan favorite convention, Heroes Con. Gosh dang it, in the city that we shall not name in North Carolina. Shane Davis will be there, though, just like last year. And good luck. I hope you're not going through the airport. Just like last year, he will have not 1, but 2. Why is Shane Davis talking in the third person? Bear wonders. Bear wonders why Shane Davis is talking in the third person here. Heroes Con exclusive covers that you can now back on the site. That'd be these 2. The Inglorious Rex Wanda Zaradine, whatever, cover is limited to 200 copies. And the Inglorious Rex 1 line art cover is limited to 150. So there you go, people, including the CGC. So if you want it, you better get it now, people. There is, well, the link is down in the description. Go check it out. You missed out on the 24-hour exclusive cover. I think that's this one. If I could show it here. There we go. I think it was that one, if I'm not mistaken. If you've missed out, don't worry. They still have a Dale Keown cover and Anthony Gonzalez Clark available in the campaign. If you want to go, you gotta go check it out, people. Do go check that out. I've got the link for 9 Lives down in the description, and you should. I was looking up. What was I looking up? Might have been the cash grab. I'm trying to get out the cash grab campaign review, hopefully on Friday. I've got it most of the way done there, but anyways, I was searching through cash grab. Good luck with that. And came across Inglorious Rex, so you should be able to back it there in Indiegogo, but I would recommend the 9 Lives Comics. So you get a little bit more money to Shane Davis if you want to do that, people. Yes, indeed. All right, well, I plan on doing a review of Black and White. Hopefully the electricity will stay on this time, but I need a minute, people, to get set up here, people. I was trying to get set up, and time got away from me. So if you do not mind, I'm going to have you talk amongst your shells here for just uno momento. I get a couple of things ready here, and then we'll do a little review, a little book called Black and White. Man versus machine, people. All right, hold on just one second. Let me get everything situated here. That's the right one. Hopefully that's the right one. That is the right one, people. Finally. Okay, we can hear. All right, test. I should have done this beforehand. Should have done this a little bit beforehand here, but okay, hold on. Let's see if we can. I got the computer all the way over here. All right, let's do the thing with the thing. I gotta check this first, people. So bear uno momento. I've got this. Hello. And we've got this one too, people. All right, there we are, finally. We've got it. So here we are. We got a little black and white review that we're going to be doing. I need to just go ahead and do the review. What we're going to do here is I might do this as a separate video. So what I need to do here is do the review here, but my computer is way over here. So bear with Bear here. If you've got any questions, leave it in the chat, but the chat is way over there. So I've got to figure out how we're going to do that. But we're on the right path, people. We're on the right path. What about the shelf apologizing? What? You've been giving me the silent treatment for too long. Well, I apologize. Talking to my shelf is like talking to a brick wall, says people. Well, don't worry, man. Don't worry. We got it all under control. Hopefully, claws crossed here. We've got it all taken care of here. All right. Let's see. La 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 la. Okay, that works. Looks like it's good. Looks like it's good. Might have to go back and forth with the cameras and whatnot, but let's go ahead and do it, people. All right, we're gonna try this out. Yeah, way over there, way over there, way over here. So normally I'd have the iPad up here so I could at least see the chat, but there is way too much. You see this part right here, and it's like nice. And once you get it like right beyond the screen, it's like a complete mess. Complete mess, people. So luckily we've got this little area right here that's nice and clean for you good people. All right, everybody can hear. All good. I guess, P-Money, I guess we're going to have to do a song here. I guess we're going to have to do a song, so give Bear a moment. Let's see. Bear reviews Black and White 2, Man vs. Machine, and also High Octane. Yeah. Is that good? Are we good on that one? Are we good on that one with the music on that one? I hope we are. Yes, there is a theme song. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, everyone. All right, let's get right to it, people. Let's get right to it, because we've got a great book right here. That would be Black and White, number 2, Man vs. Machine. We've also got, and I'm sorry, Art, I did not get a chance to check this one out. That would also be the High Octane. This is from, I want to say Von Klaus, right? Oh, yeah, Von Klaus and Pedro Ang. I'll have to check this out later. Interesting about, while I've got this right here, let me just go ahead and say, so we've got this, this is a little bit more of a kid's book, if I remember correctly. This would be more kind of a adolescent. I suppose you can do it for kids. That's one of the, okay. People, I've got issues with Black and White. Let's go ahead, just jump right on into it. A good book. I enjoyed the book. We'll get into the story here in just a minute. But first off, Bear has mixed opinions. Number one, essentially how to kind of review some of this stuff. New Comicsgate 2.0, 3.0, whatever the heck you want to call it. Originally Bear, a little bit more of an activist. A little bit more out there, kind of rah. I liked all the guys out there. Want to make sure that they get their books out and get a good amount for them as well, so it's worthwhile and everything. So a lot of times you want to do raw stuff. The flip side of it is now a lot of people are reviewing books, and it's like, okay, everything's fake and gay and all this other stuff and yada yada yada, and you're nitpicking at every little thing. I don't want to do that either, but. Bear has, in the past, very briefly, worked out with Art Thibert. He's right in the book here. Worked out with Art just very briefly on a small little video that he was making for, I believe it was his other campaign. I believe it was for Chrono Mechanics, if Bear remembers correctly. So I did a little thing with that. A lot of it was back and forth. Art is a little bit of I don't want to say a perfectionist, but he knows what he wants out of design and that sort of artwork and stuff like that. So I'm going to have to hold him to a little bit of his sort of high standard that he kind of holds to himself out here. So if there's a little bit of criticism that Bear has, I'm not doing it as far as negativity towards the book. It's more of a hold this to a high standard, and I believe that it probably needed another pass or two through it, maybe another editor or something like that to go with the book here. So let's go ahead. Let's just jump right on into Black and White Volume 2. That'd be Man versus Machine here, people. Let's take a look at some of the great covers. You saw the black and white version. That is the colored maned cover here. He's got a couple other ones as well. I think Kenneth Rocafort and oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the other one here. Who was that? Joe Bennett. Joe Bennett out there did one of the other covers here. So great covers. I did some great work there. I enjoyed all of the artwork. From Art Thibert, I enjoyed the artwork in the book. I had a little bit of an issue with the story, but first off, great artwork. Always great inks from Art Thibert. Enjoyed flipping through there and checking out all the pages. Great stuff there. Who did the coloring? Hold on one second. Let me find out who did the coloring in this. If I find the book here. Give them credit here. So let's see. And we'll do it here. Actually, I will show you, good people. That might help. That might help if I actually showed instead of telling. That's one of the things that Bear is going to be kind of talking about here is showing and not telling. But let's go ahead and show and tell here real quick. First page. Let's see. Can we see that? Yeah, we can see that. Let's see. Writer and artist Art Thibert. You got a couple more writers. Joe Fulton and Pamela Thibert, his wife. Color by Brian. Pardon me if I'm pronouncing this wrong here. Manganay? I apologize here, people. You can check it out and correct Bear if you want to. He did some great coloring in here. I really enjoyed the coloring that they did here. Some great stuff. Let's see. Letters. Kurt Hathaway. We'll circle back to that in just a second. Created by Art and Pamela Thibert. With art assist by Russ Leach and Alan Patrick. Alan Patrick there. At Heck Shack Studios, if you can see that. There we go. There we are. So, I thought this was great. It's a kind of a thick book. I don't know exactly how many pages this is. I like the colors in here. Look at there. Great coloring that they did. Greens and purples and all that sort of stuff. I really liked the coloring. I liked the artwork that he had in here. I don't know how many pages that is. I want to say 40, maybe like 60 or so pages out of there. One of the things that threw Bear off with the story that he has here, we're picking up right where we left off on Black and White 1. I really enjoyed Black and White 1. So we're basically picking up right at the end of Black and White 1. There was a big fight. I believe it was like a brewery. The brewery was supposed to be like a front. They're making these, let me see if I can find it here. They're making the robots, giant robots out there that they're making. So they went to this, I want to say brewery or a front. It was a factory, essentially. I am not finding any. Where are all the robots? Bear, come on, man. There's one right there. Kind of one of the giant robots there. Focus, you. There we go. Anyway, so they were manufacturing giant robots. So we pick up right where they left off at the end of Black and White number 1. It's Black and White. So Black and White is Reed Blackett and I want to say Whitney. It would be helpful if I wrote this down, but anyways, White is the other character there. So they're kind of like an odd couple, I would say. A little bit. There's Reed, and there is Whitney there. Let me see if I can find it here in the comic. There they are. There they are. So it's a little bit like, I would say, kind of a futuristic James Bond. He works for, I want to say, like MI9 or something like that. It's sort of like a intelligence service that mainly concentrates on robots. So they were out there. They went to China. He went to China, met up with Whitney. They had these power suits that they have on here. And they were able to take on the main bad guy. Where is he? Where is JC, who I kept calling Jesus Christ in the last review? There's JC right there. I want to say like Jason Chang or something like that. I kept calling him Jesus Christ because he kept going by JC. Anyways, they were doing battle with old JC out here. They went, oh, there's a butt shot right there. There we go. I told you there was some great artwork here. I told you, people. Anyway, so they end up fighting with JC and his minions, took everybody out. So we start off the book literally right where they left off. This is his kind of handler fella here that kind of handles stuff in the background. What was his name again? It would be helpful if I wrote these stuff down, but this was Uncle Yi, Mr. Brooks. Mr. Brooks, that's right. That's what his name is. So anyways, kind of Black's handler out there. So they fought the robots, and they continued to fight. And so they do all this sort of stuff here. Let me get to it. And they finally, like, literally defeat, like, the robots and everybody kind of pretty quickly into the pages here. I want to say it was maybe 10 or 12 pages in. And there's the other robot right there, giant robot. There we go. So they fought all these guys. There's the giant robot finally. Some great one-page spreads. Although JC continues to say, I am God through the entire book. He literally says he's the Messiah at one point. And he's black. No, he's back. He's back. He's not black. There's another guy named Black. Anyway, so they go through there, do their business, yada, yada, yada. One of the complaints that Bear has here is, let me see if I can find it where it gets to the very end. 1 second here, people. Claws just aren't what they used to be. Let's see if we can get to the section that Bear needs to get to here. And it should be this next page or two, right? No. 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 Where is it? I knew it was around here somewhere. Where is it? Gosh dang it, people. Oh, it's further back. Oh, God. Yeah, it's, hold on just 1 second here, people. See if I can get to this. Okay. Oh, wait, no, one more. One more? Was it at the end there? No, I think this was the end. Okay, there was the end. Pardon me, people, pardon me. Anyways, there we go. There is the end of basically the end of the story of essentially the first book. So that was maybe 6-8 pages, something like that. And then you got the rest of the book here. The problem with this is, I think, and I'm not exactly sure, Bear is not exactly sure how he kind of paced the story here. It seems like Black and White 1 was one complete book. He might have split it up, into paperback versions, but for the Indiegogo, it was one book. I want to say 60 pages. I could be wrong on that. It was somewhere right around there. So we're finishing up that story. They get to the very end. Some nice line work there from Art Thibert. So they get to the end of it, and as I get to the end of this, I'm like, okay, great. The story has been concluded. Yay! But then it goes on. It continues. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on. So I'm not sure whether or not when Art was coming out with this is actually from the 1990s, the very early 1990s with Image Comics. So I'm not sure if this was supposed to be like a 15, maybe 20-page book, And then the actual book here is divided into like 3 sections. It seems like there's 3 chapters in here. Spoiler alert for those of you out there. JC dies like 3 different times. He dies, he comes back. He's literally Jesus Christ, people. He dies, he's resurrected. He dies, he's resurrected. He dies, he's resurrected yet again. So you're basically getting the same story throughout all of these pages here. They're just fighting in a different location. So I'm not sure if he kind of had to splice in 3 separate books into one kind of main book here. I'm not really sure how that worked out, but that was one of Bear's complaints, is basically the story kind of just repeated itself over and over and over again. We thought, we'd killed JC, and there he is back again. Like, I thought we got rid of you the 2nd time. Now we got to get rid of you the 3rd time. So there he is once again coming back from the dead and making mayhem. And hello, look at there. That's the end of the book. So that is the end of the book right there. So there we go. There is kind of the quick and easy story that we have behind it. So I was a little bit off with the story that he was trying to tell, because it seemed like after the first section that he had there, it was a great ending point. Great ending point. You maybe could have stretched it out a little bit further, but it was fine. It was a natural conclusion to the story that he was trying to tell. But it kept coming back over and over and over again, multiple times. So I was a little confused about that, number one. The other thing that really threw Bear off with, even though it was the same story that kind of continued, there is a lot of exposition in the book here. And that's also what threw Bear off. Let me see if I can show you here. There we go. So it seemed like there was a lot of just explaining. I'm just going to go to a random page here and see if I can see what I can do to mention all this. That might not be the best page there. Let's do the next one here. Maybe not, but there's a lot of just dialogue that's going on. They've got to explain all this stuff. Basically, in the first part of the book, we were unsure why Reed was rude, mad, just kind of disgusted, I guess, with White. And then all of a sudden, he gets taken hostage here. There he is, right there. But it was all just a ruse. But we were told it was a ruse in the previous couple pages, so it didn't really come off as... Here we go. Here's a great example here. It didn't come off as a complete surprise or a complete twist. You kind of saw it coming. But stuff like this. Let's see if we can kind of get a little bit closer here. There's a lot of what's action-y. They're running. They're doing a lot of stuff and a lot of action that was going on here. But they're talking. They're talking the entire time. Yada, yada. I can't get it to focus here, but it's just a lot of explaining, a lot of talking and going on. And one thing, obviously, it's covering up a little bit of the great artwork that he has going on here. The other, kind of like this kind of panel right here. I don't know if I'm reading it wrong or whatever. Basically, you're kind of coming across the page. You're reading across the page here. You're getting to the very end bubble here, and then your eye kind of normally comes down here to this area, but it's actually dialogue box over here that you gotta check out. So Bear's eye was just kind of bouncing a whole lot back and forth through the page here. That it got a little bit out of whack. There was some also panels that you'd have a panel over on one side, and then all of a sudden the action was on the other side. And your eye was over in this general area, but then you were coming across, so it was like a Z almost that you were doing. So I don't know if Bear is just reading the comic the wrong way. Maybe some of you more expert comic readers out there would be a little bit better with it. But it just seemed like that there was just a whole lot of explanation and dialogue. And with Art doing just a great job with a lot of the artwork that he has here, I would have just enjoyed a little bit more show rather than tell. Just show me what's going on. Don't over-explain stuff, which was kind of weird because he kind of ended after the first 10 or 15 pages or so. I thought that was a great ending, and then we're continuing on with more and more stuff here. The third thing that Bear was a little concerned about, and let me see if I can find the page here. Yeah, there, it's kind of the end, kind of a natural end with Reed and White there. I was like, okay, a little bit more of a kind of a Danielle Steele romance novel cover there, but okay, looked pretty good. I had an issue here with the tone. I guess you could call it either the tone or maybe the audience that he was going for. Art did a really good thing, and I thought he mentioned this in the past, where he was talking about violence in some of the comics. Hold on just one second here, people. Let me find the page that I need to talk to. Let's see. See if I can find it here. Oh, here we go. This might be a good one. So I was a little bit kind of off with the tone or maybe the audience that he was going for. He had kind of a philosophy that if you had a lot of violence in comic books, it's a whole lot easier to be violent against robots than it would be to be violent against people. So, for example, if you were to like take the lightsaber or whatever that they were calling it right there, use that to behead a robot, you know, okay, it's just a robot, no big worries. Other than the robot family out there, nobody's crying over it. If you behead a person, that becomes a whole different ball game. Your audience is a little bit different, or essentially your tone is a little bit different. So he did that really well in the first book. There was a lot of action, there was a lot of stuff going on hand to hand, or him shooting or something like that, and it was against robots. So, okay, hey, no worries. It's robots. We can kind of maybe have this a little bit more towards a younger audience, and it would work. It worked fine. In this one, he's literally mass murdering people, like hundreds of people in the there's another great, way too long dialogue here. Way too long dialogue. So he's got all these people that have been mass murdered. Not robots, but like people, and like, you know, you're seeing like blood, all this other stuff. I was like, okay, if it was for the kids in the first book, then we really took a heavy detour with this book here. You also had Whitney. She's like making out with Chang. Chang like killed all these people, and she's like, you know, making out with him in the next frame out here. It was a little bit off. I wasn't sure whether or not it was just a tone thing or if it was Bear or what the heck was going on, but I didn't quite get where he was going with it. See, there we go. There is hey, let's make out after we've just like slaughtered all these people over here. Like, it didn't, the tone of it didn't make sense, or maybe the audience that he was going for in the first book might not be the same one that was going for in the second book. Again, a lot of dialogue. I did like a little bit of the, you see where it's black? See where it's black there? That's actually Black talking to White. So they've got like this, I don't know, ESP, I guess, through the suits that they have, so they can kind of talk to each other like telepathically. So I thought that part, where you can actually see who's being talked to and what's being said without actually seeing the character. I thought that was a really interesting thing there. I like the design that he has, like on the airplanes and the robots and stuff like that. I thought he did a really great job with that. But once again, I thought the tone or maybe the audience that he was going for was a little bit... Here we go. A little bit off. I thought it was a little bit inconsistent, I guess is what Beer is trying to say here. So I liked the book. I liked a lot of the artwork. I'm glad that I got this one where you can see a lot of the line work that he did. Art does some great line work. Some great job with that. Here, I will... This is a card, but I'll show you what it should look like in the colored version. So that's kind of what it looks like. Not too bad. I do like the black and white version. of Black and White. So once again, actually, let me show. Show, don't tell, Bear. Show, don't tell. So a lot of great stuff. A lot of the stickers. Got some stickers. You got cards. You got some cards. You got some stickers. He had patches. There's one, and there's another one over here. I got the Inko sticker right here. Pretty cool. He had a pin. Let's see if I can get to that. There you go. There's the pin, the black and white pin. So a lot of great extras that he brought to the campaign, either as extras or, if Bear remember correctly, I got on this early, so there was a version of it that had some of the different stuff. In fact, I think this one. There we go. The card way back there. I think that one came from the original Image comics. So some interesting stuff with that. I don't know if everybody got the same stuff that Bear did here, but plenty of great extras that Art came up with, including, of course, the High Octane book as well. Once again, this probably is a little bit more of the kids' book. The regular black and white, I would say a little bit more towards a adolescent, maybe 12, 13. You could probably go, it depends on maybe the parents, I suppose. I don't know if you'd want to go any earlier than 12 or so, but for the young kids, I would probably say the High Octane Adventures. Again, you see where they're attacking the robots. They're beheading robots and all this other stuff, and it's fine. It's fine. It's just robots, people. It's a little bit of harmless fun out there. But I like the book. I would probably say probably an 8 out of 10. Bear had high hopes. I had high hopes for this book. Came in just a little bit under expectations. Number one, is a little confusing on the audience and the tone. Number two, I was a little confused about whether it was combining books together, and that's why it was repeating stuff or not. And just way too much. It really needed another edit. It needed another kind of pass through with another person maybe looking at it and saying, okay, maybe take, this paragraph that you're wanting to write in the dialogue box and let's bring it down to maybe a sentence or two. And that might help out. That might work. But other than that, yeah, I would say about an 8 out of 10. It was a good effort. I did enjoy it. Look forward to the next book, but maybe a little bit apprehensive. I really enjoyed the first book. The second book was, I don't want to say a step down. It was a lot of great artwork, a lot of great stuff. I was just a little confused about the story out there. So that's why, when Bear started off, I was like, well, I want to, compliment and say rah, rah, rah over all the good stuff. But I know Art does have a very high standard that he kind of sets himself to. So I'm just trying to hold himself to that sort of high standard that he had for himself here. Actually, this is, hold on, let me grab it. This is actually the volume 1. It was no, wait, this is excuse me, this is the other cover here. That's the other cover. Did I have a oh shoot, I did not bring the original one. I did have the original. If you want, go check out Bear's previous reviews, or even the box open if you want to go check it out. But there you go, people. There is Bear's review of Black and White number 2. Enjoyed it enough, but yeah, it just needed maybe another pass through and maybe kind of tightening it up. Probably the biggest thing, and then Bear was just a little confused about the tone and how it seemed like it was different, like 3 different books that were kind of put together. So I was a little confused about that. Jesus Christ just kept resurrecting himself, so that threw Bear off a little bit. But other than that, good book. Go recommend it maybe to adolescents. Keep the high octane for the kids out there. And I think everybody will be thrilled with what they got there. So keep up the good work, Art. Just make another pass or 2 with the writing. Bear will always help out. Just give him a email, and I will definitely help out for sure if it is required, people. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. He's got a good IP, a good set of characters here. It just needed to be kind of tightened up a little bit. 8 out of 10, people. 8 out of 10. But there we go, people. All right. There's that for old Bear here. Go check it out. Take care. All right. Don't go anywhere. I'm still here. I was trying to come up with a good ending for the video if we ended up doing a video. So hold on just 1 second here, people. Let me do the thing with the thing. I get a little echoey here, but let me check out the chat-o-rama. Bear has issues. I do have issues. After last night, oh God, playing that Civilization game. Ugh, crying out loud, I do have issues. Bear needs a pom-poms when he says rah, rah, rah. I do. Joe Bennett, yep. Actually, let me go back to the covers here. Let's see. I think it was this one. That was Joe Bennett. There you go. Amy says, I feel lied to. What? The book is called... It is called Black and White, but it does have color in it. I do. He did have a... where was it? I think it is this next one here. Yeah, he did have his layouts. And I would love to see an artist version. I don't recall if he sold one on that campaign or not, but that would be a good recommendation for Art to just put out like an oversized black and white, like an oversized version of it. Doesn't have to be 11 by 17, but just kind of a larger version, and definitely take out all the dialogue and just let people enjoy the art from Art Thibert. Yeah, that would be great. All right, hold on, I gotta get my glasses, people. Ooh, I don't often hear Patrick as a last name, says P-Money. He likes it. Yeah, I ordered Black and White. I am tired of trading cards. I prefer bookmarks. There we go. At least I know what to do with bookmarks. Well, you can always use your trading card as a bookmark. Barry, you put the butt shot was out of focus. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll fix it in post. Bear's claws are getting in the way. So it's a Groundhog Day Jesus Resurrection. Yeah. He's like, I guess you can call it like the Terminator 2, the like liquid metal Terminator. Not quite like that, but yeah, like he keeps getting like reincarnated. I guess they called him JC. I thought that was pretty. Let me see if I can find it. He literally says, "I am the Messiah." I would have to go through it here, but he literally says that. I'm pretty sure I kept calling him Jesus Christ in the original review. I would have to... There's I am God, but he did say I am the Messiah or something. May have been the third time he died. I can't remember. Here. I'm going through it. I'm done with you. No, not yet. Broke my weapon and my heart. All right. I don't see it right away here, people. I would show you, but yeah, he literally says, "I am." Where is it? Oh, that's the third time he comes back from the dead. Okay, it should be close, right? He should say, "I am the Messiah," right? Somewhere. I don't want to get too there. He's dead again. Oh, for crying out loud! Crying out loud. He died like 3 or 4 times in the book, people. Literally 3 or 4 times. My wife likes the patches. Yeah, they were some nice patches. I'll let me see if we can get to this. Let's see. Where did they go? He had the just regular sort of icon, I guess. What you call it there? There's the. Oops. Sorry, I'm reaching over and trying to look at the screen while holding it to the camera. So I've got to go that way. Okay, there is, if it stays in focus, there's one patch. There's that one. There is the other patch. right there. There you go. I believe if you've got the first book, they had like, and I forget what it was called, like MI8, MI9 or something like that. It was like a robot, like a robot ice, I suppose. So there's that patch, but that was on the first campaign, and then you got like a little button as well. There we go. We can show that if it will focus. There we go. Anyways, that is it's a nice pin. It is a like a metal pin. So he did a really good job. Some of this stuff was with a with one of the tiers, like an early tier. If you checked out Black and White 2 relatively early, he had a special tier. So some of that stuff might have came with that special tier. It's been a while since I did the box open, so I can't remember. I think it's been a year since this came out. So yeah, it's been just sitting on the shelf for old Bear here. All right, let me get back to your chats here. There we go. Yeah, whenever I buy the book, she always asks for the patches. Well, you can't have mine. Gosh, dang it. Let's see. All right, let me scroll back up. Okay, yeah, the song. Improve the song. Oh, improve theme song. Improv theme song. There we go. Thought you were saying improve my song. Gosh dang it, Peabody. Gosh dang you. All right, hold on just one second. I got to turn off a bunch of lights. Once again, you know what to do, people. Shelves and talking amongst them. All right, there we go. It's all battery powered, so I got to turn them off, otherwise they'll die. There we go, people. There we go. Forget the shelf. The shelf and I are done. Aw. Actually, you know what? This would be a great transition here. I've got a great news story for you good people. One second here. Thing with the thing. Get out of that. Get out of that. Bring it up. I did have a bunch of stories here. I don't know if I'll be able to get to them all, but I'll just kind of go through them quickly. Here we are. We talked about, of course, Warner Brothers splitting up. A lot of consternation out there. Good old, who is this? Bounding into Comics. They had what it means for DC and the company's debt. I'd forgotten about the debt, or how much it was worth. So where was it here? $38 billion of debt since March. I believe it was like 40-something billion dollars. They paid a little bit down, but essentially they're basically putting everything into this new thing that they're calling, what is it called? Global Networks. So they're going to have the studio on one side and then like CNN and all the other channels on the other side of the ledger there. So I bet you they're passing off the $38 billion to them. So good luck. We had this Warner Brothers Games is restructuring. They got four games that they're going to focus on. Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, Mortal Kombat, and the DC Universe. And it's like, oh, joy. Terrific. Out of all of those, Harry Potter, I guess, is the best one. Because the Suicide Squad tanked. Mortal Kombat, I guess, is okay. I've never heard of a Game of Thrones video game, so I don't know, people. So anyways, I had a number of these stories here. I might come back to the lab-grown salmon, but I needed to, since it was such a great transition. We were just talking about Black and White 2, killer robots, all this sort of stuff. New York State is passing a bill to prevent AI disasters, people. They're on top of it. They're on top of the case here, people. Let me turn that down. It's a little high. From TechCrunch and who are we dealing with? Maxwell Zeff, if that is your real name. That is your real name. Great news, people. Great news. New York State lawmakers have passed a bill on Thursday that aims to prevent frontier AI models from OpenAI, Google, a number of the other companies out there, from contributing to disaster scenarios, including the death or injury of more than 100 people or more than $1 billion in damages. So we'll hatchet face up here is making sure she's looking out for the little people. Now you might say, Bear, wait a minute, hold on. Is it, like, every life worth it? Well, yes, of course. Of course, every life is worth it. But, you know, listen, when you're coming up with laws and you want to, you know, have a nice, good amount of, you know, you need to have a little bit of regulation, but you don't want to be stepping on anybody's toes out there. You know, so you need to keep your AI death count, you know, below 100. If you kill, like, 98 people, that's okay. Pardon me here. I had to sneeze. Whew. There we go. Had to sneeze there. 100 people or less, you're okay with. Google, OpenAI, if you need to kill 50 people with your AI overlord, it's fine. In New York State, you know, broken eggs and omelets and all that sort of stuff. But let's just say your AI went out of control and killed more than 100 people and had more than $1 billion in damages. What would the law? It's called the RAISE Act. Oh, well, I've got to support it now. It's got one of those acronym names. So, yeah, the RAISE Act. Yay. Excuse me. So what would that do? What would that do? You've killed more than 100 people. You know, Jackie Chang or whatever the heck his name was, JC, you know, he's come back to life the 4th time with his robot apocalypse, and he's killed more than 100 people. I think he did in the book there, so we'll count that as more than 100 people. What's going to happen to JC from New York State? Well, they're going to bring civil penalties of up to $30 million. Anything past that, I mean, like, you could kill like 10,000 people. 30 million, that's it. We can't go any higher than that. But if you kill less than 100 people, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll let that slide. You know, it's the we got to do a little bit of killing for progress. I believe there was a funny fellow over there in Germany a couple of years back, funny little mustache that said something about the same thing. You know, you gotta have a lot of people dead, but you know, you're gonna have some progress. So you know, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I guess RAISE Act sounds better than the Drop Dead Act. Well, they couldn't put, you know, the actual thing in the title there. They had to come up with something screwy just to let people know. AI fueled disasters. Are they trying to prevent Skynet? Do you trust Democrat politicians in the state of New York? If that was the line between us and the robot apocalypse, the AI apocalypse that's going to nuke the entire planet and have the few remaining people just scavenging like cockroaches around the earth, do you trust Democrat politicians from New York State to hold that line? Do you think they would do that, or do you think they would fail that test? I'm going to say fail. AI models we're training were using more than $100 million in computing resources. So $30 million is a drop in the bucket there. So there. You can kill 99 people and you're okay by this late. I mean, at least it's better than the last guy who shoved Wu flu patients in with nursing home people just to, you know, lower his Medicare expenditures. Hey, we don't got to pay for the elderly people if they're all dead. So well, let's go ahead and do that. So she's doing better. She's let's keep it below 100 deaths per company, and we'll be okay. Good on old Hatchet Face out there. Good on her. Well, going from that to another sci-fi dystopia, people. This really hits home for beer. From Food and Wine, people. And Stacy LaCasa. We'll go with it. Lab-grown salmon, people. It's here. Oh my God, it's got FDA approval. What? RFK, what are you doing, man? What the hell's going on here? Cultivated entirely from fish cells. That'd be Wild Type's sushi-grade salmon is now being served at Chef Gregory Godet Con. Wait, Gregory Godet's Con. Why do we have to, for crying out loud, why do we have to name our stuff after, like, a giant villain from Star Trek? Isn't that like naming your restaurant after Thanos? Hey, come on down to Thanos and it'll be a snap. Like, what the hell? What? Come on, man. I thought I had an image here. Well, it's lab-grown salmon, people. Lab-grown salmon. There's a new type of salmon heading to your shelves, people, that you won't find in any of the world's oceans, they say. In early June, Wild Type. Why do they call it Wild Type when they're growing it? Oh, for crying out loud. A cell-cultivated seafood company. Announced that it's officially on the menu in Cannes! A Hawaiian restaurant in A Hawaiian restaurant in Portland. Okay. Under the direction of Chef Gregory Godet. At Cannes! We take pride in the ingredients we utilize, even if it's some frankenfish out there. Introducing a Wild Type's cultivated salmon, people, onto our menu hits the elevated and sustainability marks we want our menu to offer guests who share a similar value system to our own. I know when I go to a restaurant, which is very rare because, bear's a bear and I'd get thrown out, but on the rare occasion that bear does wander into a restaurant, I want them to have similar value systems to my own, people. In reality, you may never be able to distinguish between its product and something caught in the ocean or farmed. Are you sure about that? Do you want to take that beer challenge? As if it's produced from cells using Pacific salmon that are cultivated in cell environments that replicate the habitat of wild fish. But they're not wild, and they're not really even fish. They're just cells. The cells are then harvested and mixed. Sure, why not? With a few plant-based ingredients to help create texture, flavor, and the appearance of salmon. Nothing like harvested cells mixed with plant-based ingredients to have the appearance of conventional salmon. According to Wild Type, its first product, Saku, is ideally served as sashimi style and best consumed raw, just like any other sushi. Good God, sir. Oh my God. Not only do we have frankenfish, let's consume it raw. We made it for world-class chefs to seek out the distinct flavor and freshness of raw seafood without that ickiness of, raw seafood. Well, it's undoubtedly a significant milestone for diners, whatever. It also represents a major advancement for cell-cultivated products everywhere. As this marks the first approval of cell-cultivated fish by the FDA. God dang it, what the heck is that? What the heck is that guy that cuts off the whale head and drives around on his car thinking? Come on, RFK! God dang it. Based on the information Wild Type has presented to the FDA, as well as other information available to the agency, we didn't identify a basis for concluding the product process as described in CCC 000005 would be expected to result in food that bears or contains any substance or microorganism that would alterate the food. Sir, what would you like to have for dinner this evening? Well, I would like to have CC000005, please. Oh, well, an excellent choice, sir. An excellent choice. We have no questions at this time regarding wild types conclude. I have questions. I have lots of questions. That foods compromised or containing cultured salmon cell material. As The Verge reported, while the FDA has exclusive authority over cell-cultivated seafood. What's for dinner? This situation is different for cell-cultivated meat. What? Which must also receive approval from the USDA. Wait, what? So the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, has authority over seafood, but meat, you got to get that from the USDA. Gosh dang it. What the hell? Why use filler for salmon of all meat? I know. I heard a salmon was so good at turning food into meat that it was nearly 1-1. Well, a bear needs to do it. Never. No, it ain't good. Hold on. That's a great time. Hold on just 1 second here. Let me do this thing with the thing. It might take a second. I gotta turn off the frickin' headphones and unplug the thing here. And just talk amongst yourselves. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Hold the thought right in your head there. Right in your head as I do the thing with the thing. That'd be a great time. Be a great time to bring up, as we often do. As we often do here. There we go. First, gosh dang it, P-Bunny. First, you want me to eat lab-cultured salmon? And then you want me to do a taste test? Oh, that's not going to happen, P-Bunny. That's not going to happen. Why can't I hear anything? Well, Ridge was mad regardless, P-Money. Regardless. Oh, we're going to get a new dome. Oh, what the heck? No, stop. Shut up. Go away. Go away, you. Not going to happen, Rick. Not going to happen, man. Never, ever. Lab Salmon says, Amy, yay, plant-based cloned fish. Doesn't that sound great? Well, good thing you live in the free state of Florida, like free of Frankenfish. Cell-cultivated meat has faced a seemingly steeper uphill battle for both public and governmental approval. In May 2024, Florida Governor Ron Red Rum DeSantis signed legislation banning and criminalizing the creation and sale of lab-grown meat in the state, calling it a global elite plan that he must stop. You do it, Red Rum. As Food and Wine reported at the time, those who violate the law face a second-degree misdemeanor charge punishable by up to 60 days in jail or a $500 fine. Actually, you know what? If you murder 99 people in New York City with your AI, you're getting off scot-free. But if you come up with a Frankenfish here in Florida, you're gonna get your butt in the clink, people, for 60 days. Florida's fighting back against the global elite's plan to force the world to eat meat grown in a petri dish or bugs to achieve their authoritarian goals. You go, Ron Red Rum. DeSantis said in a statement, "We will save our meat." Alabama has also banned cultivated meat, while Tennessee and Arizona are still attempting to follow suit. What the hell's taking you so long, Tennessee? Arizona, you're dead to me. But for now, you can still indeed enjoy that cell-cultivated salmon at Con! And as Wild Type explained in its statement, it will be swimming into 4 more restaurants in the months to come, people. So look out. And I do mean that seriously. Look out for any Frankenfish on the menu at your local seafood establishment, people. That is some shocking news for Bear. Shocking. Shocking news. Shocking. Sorry I don't have the mustache that guy in that. It's not a mustache. It's more like a goatee, but... Okay. Well, we accept your apology, Peabody. We do accept your apology. Let me ask you this, people. Let me ask you this question, because there was a lot of research that went into this. A lot of research that went into this. A film trailer research company is out there, and they say, you know what? Young male audiences are turning to softer men and stronger women. Does that sound believable to you? That doesn't sound believable at all. They claim their analysis tools, including facial coding, biometric, and cognitive data, confound traditional assumptions about audience appetites and reveal a surprising shift in how our viewers engage emotionally with what they see on the screen. Research was concluded across 37,000 consumers of content, and key findings include younger male viewers respond more strongly to characters-driven storytelling with narrative depth than to relentless high-octane action sequences. Really? Really? Does that bear out in the box office receipts? For this demographic, there's a 5% difference in immersion scores between character-driven and action-driven trailers. For this same audience segment, there's a preference for female characters who are strong and independent. One might say bossy as well, over those who are hyper-stylized or giving supporting roles. I'm gonna say there's a lot of BS going on there. A lot of old BS, people. So, anyways, there was that. I got a couple other James Gunn stuff here, but it's like, I don't. Listen, I'm not a big fan of not Superman, but I'm not a big fan of James Gunn's Superman here, so I don't mind it crashing and burning, but that's why I don't want to see it succeed. I don't have any problem with Superman or anything like that. It's just, I don't like James Gunn at all, people. I let everybody know that. Let everybody know. Again, confirming Bear's opinion here that we're not going to see The Batman 2. The Batman 2 as he faces... Batman faces his greatest foe of all time. Water that is about 3 feet high. Waist-deep water. One of the big Batman villains of all time, people. God, that was a terrible, terrible movie. Terrible, awful movie, people. Anyways, there is that. Thought you'd like to see what Bear had in the news section there. Sorry, Bear and Amy, I have to head out early tonight. Have a great night. Well, you too as well, Peabody. We're wrapping it up here. Anyways, want to thank you and Mrs. Peabody and all the littlest Peabodys out there coming by and hanging out with old Bear as he did I would say a great review of Black and White 2. So I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for Bear. You'd definitely appreciate it. Amy, any D and Q tonight? I stopped by quickly the last time, and it went on for like 4 hours. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I said hi, hello. I don't think Mike even acknowledged the chat for like half an hour, so I kind of checked out after that point. So let Bear know and the audience know if there's a D and Q tonight. If not, we'll be right back here on Saturday to do another great show for you good people. So I want to say thank you to Amy and Melissa as well. And of course, as I scroll up, all of our Russian bots and lurkers. Appreciate you so very much. But you know what? All this talk about lab-grown salmon has not made Bear hungry at all. Blech. But he is going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people. Night, everyone.